Let's talk about the Four Horsemen. Memories of watching that unit form before your eyes,
Yeah.
and what made it so special.
Well, what made it so special was, first of all, they all could work, and they all could give great interviews. They were tremendous about what they did, and they were all friends. And I hung out with them, and I feel a connection to them because I held the microphone a lot of their things. They portrayed, lifestyles of the rich and famous lifestyle that they actually lived, and the fans got that. I don't think there was any better time for the Horsemen than when they developed. I know we saw many incarnations of the Horsemen throughout the years, but the original Horsemen heading to Starrcade '85, The Gathering, when they put Dusty and locked him in the cage and broke his foot, and the whole thing about them watching Ric Flair's back and everything, I think was really what started everything. Was kind of what started everything with the formations of groups as we moved ahead, like NWO or whatever else. So they were, but again, they could talk, they could work, they lived the fast lifestyle. I got caught up in that sometimes.
I was going to ask you, did you ever party with the Horsemen?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
But that was only in the '80s. When I went to work for Vince, I left all that behind, and when I came back to work for WCW, I no longer party with them. But yeah, I did, and drank with them. Tully Blanchard got me locked out of my house. Lois wouldn't open the door because he brought me back at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was really drunk. I threw up in my bathtub a number of times thanks to hanging out with Ric Flair and Arn at home. And it was one thing where Rick would say, I would call home and Rick said, next time put me on the phone with Lois. I'll make sure that she knows we're taking good care of you. And I say, I do not want you to talk to her. But she got to know Rick very, very well and knew that when I was out with him, I was doing crazy things. And of course, like everybody else, we all kind of saw Ric Flair do his nutty stuff on the road and
Sock down the hallway.
Sock down the hallway. Yeah, I was in I don't know where we may have been in Baltimore. It may have been during the Great American.
I've seen it in Baltimore one time in
Right?
the hallway. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this time he had a suite, and there was a party going on. I guess I don't know who. I know I was there, and the boys were there, and I don't know if it was just fans or friends or whatever. And it was in a suite, and I remember I was talking to someone, and he opened the door to his bedroom, and he stuck his head out. And he looked at me, and he said. So I walk over, I'm thinking, I don't want to get involved in this. He said, you see that girl over there? I said, yes. He said, ask her to come over here. So I walk over and I say, the world champion would like to speak to you, my dear. And of course, oh, okay. We walk over to the door and he said, my dear. And he opens up and he said, and he has it in his hand. He said, would you put a sock on this? And she goes, oh gosh. And she runs away. And I'm thinking, how many people in the world can see this?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Did you ever think the group would have had the legacy that it lives on today with the Four Horsemen?
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
I thought so because of, this symbol was a very simple symbol, and it really meant something. And it stuck with people, and they were, I think they were well marketed without an attempt to be well marketed. Where they could have made a lot more money off of them than they really did. But yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that.